Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
This was no accident. A Detroit family's home firebombed, and the homeowner says she knows exactly why it happened.
And the rain just won't stop. Worries about critical dams and levees failing as Houston's police chief delivers a heartbreaking update on the storm.
And of course, again, we will avoid comparisons, but we'll begin here at 5 with our weather here at home. A very active 4 live radar storms coming through. We've even had tornado sirens going off in one community.
Yeah, let's get right to Ben off the top here at 5. Those sirens were going off in the Milan area. What can you tell us about that, Ben?
Well, I can imagine it was scary for anybody who saw this because it definitely looked ominous, to say the least. But what we're going to show you is a picture of what we call a cold air funnel. This was a pretty weak storm and a fairly weak rotation. In fact, this was so small, we really didn't even see it on radar. Didn't last very long, dropped out of the sky and went back in, didn't cause any damage. But sometimes we see these this time of year. They're very similar to water spouts when we see a very large temperature difference across the area. And by the way, cold air means cold air aloft. I know some people are saying it's 72 and humid out there. What are you talking about, cold air? But that's what causes it. So far, that's the only, we saw a pair of those reported down there in Milan Township, and that's it as far as the funnels go. But we've seen plenty of rain. That seems to be a bigger problem. Remember all the problems we had last night, and the rain keeps coming. The good news is the intensity has gone down, but some of these places, like out here in Salem Township, just north of Ann Arbor, you can see that rain's been continuing pretty much for the last hour nonstop. And then you get a little bit north of there, out towards Pinckney, Putnam Township, just north of M36. There's some more intense rainfall that continues to move. There is a flood advisory out, actually 2 of them, and that stretches from Novi down to the state line. Those are in effect until 6 and 6:30 respectively. 2 inches plus have fallen. In fact, there's some areas that have actually received 4 inches of rain just within the last 24 hours. So we'll keep an eye on this and see how long it's going to last coming up next in weather. Guys?
Ben, now to the catastrophe playing out right now in Houston.
Plenty of new developments happening right now. Let's get you caught up. A major dam that keeps water out of Houston spilled over this morning after exceeding its capacity of 108 feet. That's never happened before. About 90 minutes later, a levee south of Houston was breached, prompting officials nearby to issue this very simple yet very dire warning: get out now.
And today, Houston's police chief delivered the grim news that one of his officers lost his life trying to get to work. And all of this happening as President Trump made the trip to see the devastation. Jay Gray following it for us from Houston tonight. Jay?
Hey there. Good evening, Devin. Good evening, Kimberly. We are thankfully getting a break from the rain right now. Just spitting, but more intense rain is on the way, and that will add to what are already catastrophic floodwaters across this city. Forecasters and officials warning this storm is still far from over. It's been 5 straight days of driving rains and rescues in southeast Texas.
It's just a massive operation at this point.
And growing.
It's terrifying to see these waters rising and not knowing what to do, and there's not a way to really get out.
Rick Salvador's brother survived, but as he was trying to evacuate with his parents and 4 children, great nieces and nephews, the water swept away their van.
Yeah, he can hear the kids screaming and crying, you know, trying to get out of the van, and the van just sunk underneath.
And today, Houston's police chief emotional as he learned they'd lost one of their own. There are thousands still stranded here.
Everyone in the state of Texas is focused first on saving every life that we can.
Rescue teams pouring into the area from across the country.
We're going to be here until the last person leaves.
Joined by a volunteer Navy using whatever they can to carry survivors to higher ground.
It's just unbelievable, the number of nice people that are showing up.
Also on the ground in Texas today, President Trump traveling to Corpus Christi as consoler-in-chief and promising federal help through the long and difficult recovery.
It's epic what happened, but you know what? It happened in Texas, and Texas can handle anything.
But Harvey continues to test that Lone Star's strength and resolve. Right now, there are more than 17,000 people in area shelters, and today the mayor warned before this is over, he expects at least 10,000 more will need a place to stay. In Houston, Jay Gray, Local 4.
All right, Jay. Now today, our help for Houston continues. As we've seen, thousands of people have been forced out of their homes because of the hurricane.
Yeah, and now people are coming together to raise money for those in need. Hank Winchester is live in our phone bank. And Hank, you have a way for people to help.
We certainly do. The response has been unbelievable. We have teamed up with the Red Cross. All the money being collected here in Metro Detroit going straight down to Houston. The number that you can dial, 313-298-WDIV. I'm with Melanie Ducanel with the Better Business Bureau here in southeastern Michigan. And when you talk about charities that really do it right, Red Cross is one of them, right?
Yes, actually the American Red Cross has been an accredited charity of our Better Business Bureau for over 25 years. So they have to meet 20 standards of business and make sure that they do it with aplomb, which they do and have done for many, many years.
And you're going to hear from some of the volunteers tonight at 6 o'clock about how your money is going to be used in Texas. But we just want to remind the viewers and give them the information that when you look at the star rating, and that's why we brought in the BBB, when you look at the star rating for an organization like this, the Red Cross is about as good as it gets.
Absolutely. And you have to look at this organization. It's a global organization, and the way that they're able to deploy their assets as quickly as they are, it is one of the organizations that you definitely want on your side.
Perfect. And we're so glad that they're on our side and working with us, a partnership to get money down to Texas. And again, right now, the need, as you've seen from the amazing images, immediate food, shelter, clothing, supplies, all of the money raised here in Detroit going to help those that need it right now. Phone bank's going to stay open until 6:30. Devin Kimberly will be here throughout the evening newscast. Back to you.
In fact, Hank, our coverage of the storm will continue over this next 90 minutes.
And on clickondetroit.com, that's where you can read a guest blog from a Metro Detroit native who's in Houston right now. You can read his dramatic firsthand account. Just click on the link in the top stories section.
All right, now to a story that has been developing this afternoon. A family in fear tonight on Detroit's west side after their home is firebombed.
It happened early this morning at this home on Marlowe Street. That's right near Schoolcraft and Hubble. Our Steve Garagiola spoke to the homeowner who thinks this is retaliation for something she's planning to do.
At about 2 o'clock this morning, the family that lived in this house lost everything. A fire starting at the back of the house. But come around this way. At the same time, a second fire started here on the front porch. This was no accident. Somebody didn't want this family to get out alive.
We're like, what was that? He goes downstairs and he come running right back up like, grab the kids, the house is on fire.
Ebony Walls, her husband, and 6 children were all in the home this morning when the fire started with a bang. Arson investigators told them this was clearly an intentional fire.
And it looked like it was barricaded. Something was up by the door burning, so we weren't meant to get out of this house.
Ebony is a witness scheduled to testify in a criminal case of sexual assault in Warren. She and her family have faced threats for months, but she insists she won't be intimidated into silence.
I won't let them shut me up. I'm going to help protect you. This is still not going to shut me up because God is going to bless us regardless.
Ebony says you have to do what's right, even in the face of threats.
People can't keep being scared just because of what other people may do. And if I have to lose my life to protect her, I'll do that.
Today, the price of bravery was very high.
It's my 4-year-old. He says, Mommy, don't cry. It's going to be okay. The firemen are putting the fire out so we can go back home. We can't go back home. There's no home to go to.
Well, that is a very brave lady. Neighbors, friends, the Red Cross all reached out this afternoon to try to offer some help, but this is a family that is really hurting tonight. Kimberly, Devin, back to you.
Obviously hurting and very strong that woman is, Steve. Do police have any suspects at this point?
Well, you know, I guess the answer to that is yes and no. Yes, in that because of the case she's involved in, there's a pretty good idea where this points. But no, in that it seems that as far as what happened this morning, there looks like there's no specific evidence that points to a specific suspect or suspects.
Unbelievable. All right, Steve, keep us posted. Thank you.
Well, in these disastrous conditions brought about by the hands of the hurricane, President Trump is tasked with also dealing with escalating tensions in North Korea. The North launched a missile that was aimed over Japan, but the message, you would say, was probably aimed at the United States. Today, the UN Security Council called an emergency meeting saying something serious must happen in response to yet another display of unacceptable behavior from North Korea.
They have violated every single UN Security Council resolution that we've had. And so I think something serious has to happen.
I'm talking about you sink a North Korean ship, or you strike the launch pad.
So the wait is on to see who will send a stronger message, North Korea or the United Nations. The president did speak with the Japanese prime minister, and both leaders say they are committed to increasing pressure on North Korea.
Police in Warren are investigating what caused a car to crash into a building. It was right after sunrise today that the car veered off Hoover at Continental just north of 9 Mile and ran into the wall of a liquor store. The driver was hospitalized with minor injuries. The crash left a gaping hole in the wall.
All right, a lot more ahead here today at 5.
Including Domino's Pizza set to go high-tech when it comes to delivering those pizzas. We've got a sneak peek at what they're working on and why one town decided to take down basketball hoops at a popular public park.
And it may only be a few months old, but there is going to be a huge change on the queue line starting next week. What you need to know if you're planning to ride. Jamie?
Last night, the Lions made Matthew Stafford the highest paid player in NFL history. But in today's press conference, money wasn't the focus. So what was?
Okay, Jamie, and we want to remind you of our Help for Houston phone bank. We're working with the Red Cross to help raise money for the victims in Texas. To donate, call the number there on your screen. It's 313-298-WDIV. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
New at 6.
One of the area's largest hospital systems is found to have made a deadly mistake. We've learned how much money has been awarded to this woman's family.
Plus, the families fight to make sure no one else suffers what happened to their daughter at this traffic light.
Well, the numbers are mind-boggling. Matthew Stafford will be with the Lions for 5 more years, and the team is paying him $135 million for that stretch. And to top it all off, $92 million of the contract guaranteed.
Yeah, he's getting paid more than Tom Brady, more than Derek Carr, more than Aaron Rodgers, more than really just everybody, right?
That's right.
I thought you were going to name the whole NFL there for a moment. First thing I thought of is, can you imagine the withholding taxes on that thing, huh? Or can you imagine the direct deposit, what they're saying at the bank? Or what he's now going to have to pay the babysitter. Either way, Matthew Stafford, next in line among NFL quarterbacks for a record-setting payday. And record-setting it is. We've got highlights of Stafford entering his 9th season with the Lions. The deal includes a $50 million signing bonus. It's what every kid dreams of when he puts on a uniform. Stafford has not missed a game in the past 6 seasons, which has to play into the idea of giving one player $135 million. Standing by live in Allen Park with more on the Stafford signing is our own Jamie Edmonds. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening, Bernie. You know, everyone on social media, the articles in the papers, it's all about the money. And $135 million is a lot of money. But today at the press conference, there was a lot of talk about Matthew Stafford, the person, and why it's easy to be happy for him to get this deal. It was a full house inside the Lions media room for the Stafford press conference. Even his wife, Kelly, and their 2 twins, Chandler and Sawyer, were there. This is a big deal for the whole family.
I've made Detroit, you know, my home, and obviously I have a family now. You can hear them in the background cheering for me, I guess.
They might be his biggest fans, but as you listen to people inside the Lions organization, you can tell Stafford has a lot of admirers.
Like, he embodies what we want in a Lion. So, you know, he's a great teammate. He's tough. He's competitive. He has tremendous work ethic. You know, he's one of the first guys in the building every day.
His teammates say he leads by example. Maybe that's why they're so happy for him and his new deal. Golden Tate even FaceTimed Stafford last night when he heard the news.
And the unique thing about it is that he does a lot of great things in the community as well. So, you know, he's one of those guys that you're happy for.
Jim Caldwell says the money is well-deserved, but he knows that's not what drives number 9.
If we did or didn't get it done, he'd be the same guy. That's the unique thing about him. He just comes to work, he's here early, stays late.
Everyone talks about Stafford the man and how good of a person he is. Pair that with his passing stats and toughness on the field, and you have the Lions leader for the next 6 years. So we asked the $135 million man, what are you going to buy first?
Bunch of diapers. I don't know, man. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 babies, diapers cost a lot of money. But joking aside, the Lions like him as a person. They also like him as a player. He's the best quarterback they've had. To lock him in for 6 years, 5-year extension, they feel he could do great things. And the next step, winning a playoff game. Bernie, back to you.
Yeah, has not won a playoff game in his career. You are correct, but that is the next step. Thanks, Jamie. Stay dry.
Yep. Diapers are expensive, so.
Especially when you got 2.
Yeah, so that's good.
He can cover it. I think he's all right.
He'll be good.
I want to tell you something. We spent time with him and the kids and with Kelly. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a terrific person.
Yeah.
So none of this affects him anyway. And they're all saying it is true.
Yeah. Great to know he's going to be around for a while. We have had a bit of rough weather here at home. Right now, DTE says we've got 11,000 customers without power across southeast Michigan. That's more than the 10,000 who lost power thanks to the storm last night.
Yeah, it's been really a mess and hard to see out there when those the rain comes down and people don't turn on your lights, people, too. That's another thing. It's like,
amen.
Yeah, so many people don't do that.
I wish you would have been on the road on 96 at about 2 this afternoon. But yeah, it is eerily looking a lot like yesterday. Let's hope that all those drains are unclogged around the freeways and we don't see that problem again. But let's start with 4 Live radar because the rain is still out there. The good news, as we told you at the top of the show, is that the intensity is starting to weaken a little bit, but there's definitely still widespread rain, especially here across Washtenaw County and western Wayne County. You can see that rain just relentless here right along the county line. Ypsi up towards Salem Township, Livonia, Plymouth, Canton, you're all getting hammered right now. And out here in Livingston County, still a pretty good downpour going just south of Howell, starting to migrate north of Pinckney out towards the western end of Livingston County. So definitely plenty of water out there. When you look at the 24-hour totals, this is not counting what we had before 5 o'clock last night, anywhere between 2 and 3 inches right there in that stripe that is where we have that flood advisory right now. But you get further onto the east side and that big bullseye there over parts of Windsor, and you start looking at the area near Jefferson in the city of Detroit towards the Grosse Points, 4.6 inches estimated there, and a couple 3-inch totals close to Monroe. So we've gotten soaked here, and we're not done yet. Of course, it's nothing like what they're dealing with down south as that rain just continues. But some good news for Houston, at least the intensity of the rain is starting to relax. The core of Harvey is pretty close to shore. It's going to make landfall, hopefully for the last time, as it accelerates to the north. And by the way, I want to show you on Storm Pins, this is not just local. We're part of a network, and that does include Houston and San Antonio. Try to do some quick math. It's a little tough to see, but that little blue dot includes over 1,000 storm pins in that location alone. So I know news crews can't get to everywhere in Houston because of the flooding, but you can see exactly what's going on in a lot of neighborhoods. If you've got friends or family down there, go to Storm Pins and check out some of those pictures and videos. Back home tonight, we'll see the showers and thunderstorms start to fade. I'd say by 10 o'clock, we're going to be on the dry side of things and should stay that way tonight. However, watch out for the fog, especially with the additional rain that we saw today. So again, almost exactly like what we saw last night. This is the cold front that's going to give us some relief. Could scare up a stray shower tomorrow afternoon, but generally most of us stay dry, and maybe a raindrop overnight going into Thursday morning. But beyond that, cooler temperatures, lower humidity, and for the most part a nice weekend. You can see Harvey's remnants sort of moving up from the Ohio Valley. We'll get clouds off of it, but I think the rain is going to stay to our south. High temperatures tomorrow are going to sneak up to 80 degrees, even with a decent amount of cloud cover and that slight shower chance. Otherwise, we will be seeing those very light southwest winds. Temperatures cooling going into the weekend, and we will stay south of 80 except for tomorrow and also again on Monday afternoon. So not necessarily a summer-like feel as we get towards the traditional end of summer this weekend.
Coming on us.
Okay, let's check in with Dr. McGeorge. Doc.
Well, mosquitoes that can carry the Zika virus have been found in Metro Detroit. Coming up, where they are and what this means about our real risk of getting the virus here.
All right, Doc, but first, the final chapter in a murder case that'll go down in history. What this woman now has to look forward to in a case where a parrot was considered a key piece of evidence. Next.
Number of stories we're following across the state of Michigan. Stories from up north in the Straits of Mackinac and Saginaw.
But we want to start in White Cloud on the west side of the state. That's where Glenna Durham was found guilty of murdering her husband. Some called the case the parrot murder because of a phrase the Durham's pet parrot kept repeating after Martin Durham was shot and killed. Listen.
That bird picks up anything and everything, and it's got the filthiest mouth around.
Well, the parrot cursed while repeating, you heard it there, "Don't shoot," mimicking Martin Durham's voice. Prosecutors considered using recordings of the parrot as evidence, but decided against it. Other evidence helped a jury convict Glenna Durham of first-degree murder. She'll spend the rest of her life in prison.
There was high drama in the Straits of Mackinac Sunday night when a pair of kayakers found themselves in distress near the Mackinac Bridge. A crew from a freighter spotted them after their kayaks submerged. The freighter crew kept a watch on them as the Coast Guard, the Mackinac Marine Rescue Group, and the Star Ferry Line rushed to the scene. Kayakers were pulled from the water, and fortunately they were not injured. Nearly 3 months have passed since the basketball rims were taken down at a Saginaw Township playground.
And that's actually just fine with people who live near the playground. The township complied with neighborhood requests and took down the backboard after a shooting incident at the park. Neighbors said basketball games brought noise and trouble to the park. The township is considering ways to repurpose the concrete court for some other activity.
New at 5:30.
Just in time for football season, they're experimenting with pizza delivery.
It's all about how can technology serve people.
But there's a whole lot more going on here, and we'll show you.
Missing the mark. Statewide test results are in, and they're revealing a troubling trend in one critical school subject.
The impact of Hurricane Harvey is being felt here at home as locals try to connect with their loved ones in Texas.
It was kind of nervous wreck because everybody was moving and we couldn't get in touch with everybody.
Hear more from the woman and her cousin who's right in the thick of it all in Texas.
Boston's
praying for the best while fearing the worst. A Detroit family glued to their phones and TVs as their loved ones are caught in the devastation in Houston. As help continues to pour in for Texas communities impacted by Hurricane Harvey, some Metro Detroiters are feeling helpless as they scramble to connect with family members and make sure that they're okay.
Coco McAvoy spoke with one Detroit woman who has dozens of family members in Texas. Coco, what is she hearing?
Devin and Karen, Wendy Campbell says her family's doing okay given their circumstances. They're dealing with a lot of massive flooding, though. So for her, like many Metro Detroiters, it's been very stressful just making sure family is accounted for during this difficult time.
Could you tell me how y'all doing down there?
Wendy Campbell constantly checks on the dozens of family members she has in the hurricane zone.
Victoria, Texas, Corpus Christi, I got Cedar Creek, I got Houston, I got Galveston. I mean, I have them all over.
Including her cousin, Trissy Mobley, who lost power and is seeing the effects of the flooding firsthand.
The rain has never stopped. It's been raining 24 hours a day for the last 3-4 days.
When this situation started to unfold,
it was kind of nervous wreck because everybody was moving and we couldn't get in touch with everybody.
Now she's been using Facebook to keep up with her family, and she sees the many videos and photos they post showing dire conditions.
He wanted to make sure that if the flood got him, that his car would be secure.
Campbell says she's grateful her family members are all accounted for.
You said material things can be replaced, but human lives cannot. So overall, thanking the Lord that they're okay and that everybody is able to keep in touch. No one has lost lives.
And until the conditions improve in Texas, she will keep her ear by the phone and eyes on Facebook.
If you need anything, you know, you got my number. Love you, cuz.
And Campbell says the most difficult part for her is knowing that she can't physically help her family members. She can send them money, but she says a lot of them can't get to banks at this time. Back to you.
Well, did any of her family members get an evacuation notice, Coco?
Yes, she says some of them did, but for the Houston family members, she was saying they weren't expecting the storm to be that bad for them, so a lot of them ended up sticking it out, and they're now stuck.
So the story for so many people there, no doubt about it. All right, Coco.
Ben joins us now with what folks down in Texas, Louisiana can expect because they've got a rough ride for the next couple of days.
Yeah, and this is just the first step, getting the rain to stop. Then you got to start worrying about all the water that's on the ground and where's it going to go. But at least this is some good news. The rain's not as intense as what we have been seeing over Houston. That's not necessarily the case for Points East. You can see some of the heavier rain bands right now starting to move over parts of western Louisiana. This is right there at the state state line heading to the north. Latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center on Harvey at 5 o'clock has sustained winds of 50 miles an hour. This thing's going to make landfall again. And you think 50 miles an hour, nothing compared to a Cat 4 storm, but with all the rain that they've got and that saturated ground, 50-mile-an-hour winds can still do some damage. That's going to snake up the Mississippi and then start curving more to the east. So by Saturday morning, the remnants of Harvey are going to be just south of the Ohio state line, or the Ohio River, I should say. And some of those clouds may reach us as we get into the weekend, but it looks like the moisture from Harvey is going to stay to the south. Here's a quick check of 4 Live radar at home. We've still got a lot of showers and thunderstorms around, a little bit lighter rain than what we were dealing with, and a reminder that flood advisory in effect until early this evening. Guys?
All right, Ben. A new report says third-grade students in Michigan schools are having trouble with reading and writing. The state has released a report from MSTEP. It shows only 44% of third-grade students pass the English Arts test. That's down 2% from 2016. It's down 6% from the year before that. Reading skills were also down for students in grades 4, 6, 7, and 8. They rose 0.5% for fifth-grade students in Michigan, the lone bright spot. If you have yet to utilize the free rides on the Q line in Detroit, you might want to head downtown pretty soon.
Time's running out.
Yeah.
The streetcars are now arriving every 15 minutes during peak hours, which meets the M1 Rail's goal. More than 500,000 rides have been taken on the Q line since May, putting daily ridership over 5,000 a day in the last month. So what does that mean for riders? Well, it means Q line fares will soon begin.
And I think it's really important to underscore that this is a very long-term play. I mean, not only are we going to build ridership over time, the continuing development all up and down the avenue is going to be, I think, one of the great success stories of the line.
Now that the Q line's ridership goal has been hit, revenue operations will begin on September 5th.
Senator Stabenow in Warren today to kick off a week-long series of discussions about the state's workforce. Stabenow stressing to businesses and to parents, for that matter, the importance of skilled jobs and how they play into the future of our workforce.
But I think all of us as parents need to understand these are great jobs, and you can go through skill training and oftentimes walk out with no debt into a great job.
Senator says she's going to be reintroducing the New Skills for New Jobs Act of 2015, which builds on successful job training partnerships.
Ford Arts Beats and Eats is just a few days away, and as the excitement builds, there's a unique incentive to give back at this year's event. Kim DiGiulio shows us how it goes beyond just doing the right thing.
Arts Beats and Eats happening here in downtown Royal Oak this Labor Day weekend. A great event for the whole family to enjoy. But what you may not know is that this event is really for helping families here in Metro Detroit who need it the most. Meet Ernestine Moore, mother of 6 and grandmother of 20. She used to provide for her family by working as a bus driver, but after a tragic accident, Ernestine was disabled and had no way to make money to put food on the table for her loved ones.
I had no money, no clothes, no nothing for them.
Ernestine would often feel helpless, not knowing what to do when her family needed food.
To hear your babies say, I'm hungry, and you don't know where you're going to get your meal from, that's devastating to me.
Thankfully, Ernestine found the help of Gleaners Community Food Bank. They provide her and her family with the food they need to survive. Gleaners is committed to helping all of the families in Southeast Michigan who also need food.
They're going to get a full meal with protein, with vegetables, healthy, nutritious food to help them and their families.
Leading up to Arts Beats and Eats, Flagstar Bank has teamed up with Gleaners to help get as many donations as possible to help people who are in situations like Ernestine. A food donation to the food bank is not only going to feed a starving family, it's also going to get you into Arts Beats and Eats for free. What does it mean when you see the community come together and just want to help out?
I would like to see more of it, but every little bit helps.
You can head on over to any of the 5 Flagstar Bank locations from now until the 31st. Drop off your non-perishable food items and you'll receive your Arts Beats and Eats tickets. Reporting here in Berkeley, I'm Kim DiGiulio, Local 4.
All right, Kim, and we've teamed up with Arts Beats and Eats and the Red Cross to do something special for Houston this weekend. We'll be taking donations at the gates, so when you buy a wristband, throw a few dollars in. With the 300,000 people expected to attend, the money can add up pretty quickly.
Sure can. It was a day of celebrations here in Detroit for one school. A big grant has brought big money to the Jesu Catholic Elementary School.
The Archbishop was on hand to bless the $500,000 renovations made, which was all funded by a grant from the United Auto Workers Ford National Program Center.
I think it's very important for me to come and pray with them. I very much appreciate that, leading them in prayer and having that kind of connection with them.
In addition to that $500,000 grant, the UAW has pledged an additional $250,000 in 2018.
In many ways, good business is really problem solving when you get down to it. Two globally known Metro Detroit companies have teamed up for just such a project. Business editor Rob Maloney shows us how Ford and Domino's want you to get your pizza hot, fast, and driverless.
The autonomous car is going to change the world as we know it, and in many ways that we haven't even considered yet. And that's why Ford and Domino's got together to try and attack one tiny little problem or issue, and that is, how do you do decent pizza delivery? Driverless pizza delivery starts with a 4-digit PIN that Domino's sends you on your phone after your order goes through. Domino's Senior VP of Technological Innovation says there are a lot of unknowns here.
When they take the pizzas out, are they going to check them? Do they want to put it on top of the car? Are they going to put something in? So there's all these kind of questions that I think people underestimate the complexities of what it's going to take to make this the reality.
People who get pizza delivered will now have to leave the house, and Ford's Alan Hall says Ford needs to know how this works for pretty much every delivery.
We just want to know what is the right way to implement this technology to make a viable business and also an enjoyable consumer experience.
There is so much technology involved in this entire operation, like starting with the autonomous car. These spinning little canisters here are really LiDAR, and what that means is that it's taking a picture around the vehicle and then displaying it on a computer screen so the car knows what's going on around it and sees everything around it. You see the tent on top and you see us standing next to the vehicle. This experiment will have Ford engineers riding in the vehicle to override any roadway problems, and it's going to start with single-family homes.
Thanks for using Domino's self-driving delivery vehicle.
Today is the official beginning of this experiment, and if you live in the Plymouth Road area in Ann Arbor, you have a shot at getting to have this come to your house. The next big step in, say, a month or two is trying to figure out how do you do decent delivery at, say, the U of M game. In Ann Arbor, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
There is a thoughtful innovation for the forgetful among us. There is a video camera inside the heating oven. So it's there so in case you put your cell phone or something else down while you're checking for your pizza to make sure that the car doesn't drive off with your stuff. Wow. Now see, if you've been bored to tears by the mobility argument, autonomous pizza you might be able to get excited about.
It's pretty cool.
Well, amazing. Yeah. An incredible story of survival is emerging in the streets of Massachusetts tonight.
I've never seen a child behave so responsibly and so well. She was incredible.
New here at 5:30, a 7-year-old girl thrown from a bridge. But it's what happened next that's just amazing.
And a group of nuns on the run, what they're accused of doing and why one thing just doesn't seem to add up. Doc?
Well, mosquitoes that can carry the Zika virus have been found in Metro Detroit. I'll show you where they are and what this means about your risk of getting the illness here.
We want to remind you of our Help for Houston phone bank. We're working with the Red Cross to help raise money for the victims in Texas. To donate, call 313-298-WDIV. We'll be right back.
IT.
New at 6.
If you would have told her she's a hero, she would have waved you off. But she did serve her country proudly.
It was such an honor. She felt like, why should I be honored like this?
This evening, a tribute to an original Rosie.
Plus, her mom thought it was the flu, but this teen had something much worse. Now her family wants all parents to know about the vaccination option they wish they would have taken.
This year, there have been 215 Zika infections in the United States, and 7 of them have been in Michigan.
Now, none of those 7 were transmitted in the state, but now the mosquito that spreads Zika has been found in Michigan. Dr. McGeorge is here now with what we all need to know.
Well, Karen and Devin, you know, mosquitoes are responsible for the spread of a multitude of diseases well beyond Zika. So county health departments across the state monitor the mosquito population constantly. And now the Asian tiger mosquito has been found in Wayne County.
The Zika virus was first identified as a threat in 2015 and early 2016 as the link between the virus and the birth defect microcephaly was identified in Brazil. Concerns regarding transmission of the virus centered on two mosquitoes, the yellow fever mosquito, Aedes aegypti, and the Asian tiger mosquito, Aedes albopictus. For Michiganders, outside of travel, neither of these were a serious concern because the closest that either mosquito came to us was mid to northern Ohio, until now. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has announced that a population of the Asian tiger mosquito, Aedes albopictus, has, for the first time, been found in Michigan, specifically in Wayne County in the industrial area along I-96 in Livonia. The immediate question that comes to mind is whether this means Zika could come to Michigan. The short answer is probably not, and here's why. First, of the two concerning mosquitoes, the Asian tiger mosquito found in Michigan is less likely to transmit the virus. Next, unlike last year, there have not been any cases of Zika transmitted anywhere in the United States. And finally, for Zika to spread in Michigan, someone with a Zika infection, of which there have only been 7 this year, would have to be bitten by one of these mosquitoes and then bite someone else.
So that doesn't mean there is zero risk, but it would take a series of very low chance events to lead to anyone getting Zika from a mosquito here in Michigan. Nonetheless, in general, it's still important to avoid mosquito bites because they do transmit more than just Zika locally, West Nile, for example.
That's why we always say the most dangerous creature in the world.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you, Don.
A pair of nuns on the run in Pennsylvania after trying to rob a bank.
Yes, two women,
dressed as nuns,
yes, dressed as nuns, entered a Citizens Bank Monday afternoon and showed the teller a gun before demanding money. Police say a teller pulled an alarm, scaring them off before they were able to take off with any cash. The FBI is investigating the incident, now looking for two women they consider to be armed and dangerous. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident.